Estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
¿Aló?
Bueno.
¿Aló?
¿Quién es? ¿Con
Hola.
quién hablo?
Es Jaimito.
¿Cómo?
Chili Lime Jaimito.
¿No speak English? ¿No speak Spanish?
No Nintendo.
Hey, no speak Spanish, por please. I needed a speak the Spanish, please. No comprendo the English. What's cracking on, boy?
Man, what's up, Javier, man?
What it is?
What time is this? 12:40. It's 12:46 in the AM right now, man. What are you
Why
doing
are
up
you
right
doing
now?
up, bitch? You, homie, I could do that. I'm in prison. I got nowhere to go. I got nothing to do tomorrow. What are you doing up?
It's straight tweaker
Yeah,
activities right now.
Yayo, homie. You drank like all the texture choices on my work, huh? The
Hey,
Starbucks.
Hey, I drank a Mad Dog 2020.
Gee, must be nice, homie. Yeah, I know you don't drink, so that's just you on the match.
No,
You know, when you're happy, you could do shit like that. When your life is going good, you could say, fuck it, I'm gonna stay up tonight. You know, I'll pay for it in the morning. I'll just sleep in till like 11.
Yeah, no, I gotta work as
vacation time.
No, I wish, man. I gotta I gotta go to work. Yeah, but I won't work the swing shift, so I'm gonna be going in at tomorrow. Going like at 4, I think, and then I get off like at 2:30 in the morning. So, yeah, I'm gonna be working tomorrow. So pues ahorita pues ando aprovechando, that I have a moment, in Europe. So man, might as well, like that. When they wake up tomorrow in the morning, they're gonna get an early Christmas gift, and you're gonna go ahead and bless them with this stream tonight.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause so give me a little input on how it works. So you put like the next part, you advertise the next part, pretty much. So because on the picture I see part 8.
Yeah. So
right
now
we're gonna be doing part 8.
No, right now we're on part 10 already. That was 2 streams ago that we were on.
What?
Yeah. So we're on number 10 right now. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we on already?
No, yeah, we are, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Órale. Buenas. They're probably knocked out right now. El hombre hielitos is probably asleep right now. The other homie too, el fish.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Controlada.
El Fish Slayer SoCal.
Yeah.
El Chili Lime, Jaimito. Everybody's up, huh? I mean, we're probably the only ones up. Everybody's asleep right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you remember where I was at? I was talking about when I got the news about my brother, huh?
Yeah. I think that's the part you were on.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now that before I start, I know sometimes because a lot of times right after I finish, I kind of replay everything and I try to remember everything I said, and then I always analyze myself. Like, man, am I making like each subject a little too long? Am I veering off course with the story? But when it came to this part, my brother, man, that's like my best brother, dog. Like, I got other brothers, man, but they don't show me the kind of love that he showed me. Like, he really treated me like a blood brother, like a brother should. And so, when I talk about him, man, I like to bring him up. I like to talk about him all the time with people that I'm real close with, like with Leti. And I met Leti about 5 months ago, and she tripped out how much I talked about my brother, It's like, man, you love the brother. I said, hell yeah. It's like if I bring him back to life when I talk about him. So I know I kind of went a little long on that, you know. But hopefully I don't like kind of becomes a little boring when it gets to certain parts. I tend to kind of like overdo it, but that's because that was like a real hard thing for me to go through. You know what I mean?
Hey, no, but
So I wasn't making it that.
so
Was
trip
I
out.
making it too long?
Nah.
Yeah.
So look, I mean,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
your story. I mean, and you know that's why that platform's here, so you could
Yeah.
get into those details, if you will. So
Yeah.
like don't ever feel like you're talking about a subject for too long. You know, you take your time
Okay.
and
Okay.
we're gonna,
Okay.
because I mean, like I say, you've been down for 30 years. So it's like
Yeah.
we can't go through your life story in 15 minutes. It just is no way, no how. It's not gonna happen. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
normally, I mean,
Makes sense.
when normally, when I do these lives, I try to do either like at least an hour or two, so
Yeah.
you could get as much
Yeah.
as much of your story out as possible. And then
Okay. Okay.
but yeah, so don't ever
Yeah. It
feel like,
makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. I hear you. Okay. So okay. I just wanted, cause like uh, uh, prison does that to you, dog. It makes you so self-aware and so self-conscious about everything. You know what I mean? Even when you're walking out to the yard, you're wondering, because a lot of dudes, as soon as they walk out the yard, before they keep pushing, as soon as they step out the door, they scope out the whole scene. But those are dudes that have issues, so they want to see who's out there. They want to see where they're gonna go kick it at. They want to see how many hooters are there. So it all depends what kind of baggage you're carrying, right? So when I step out the yard, I don't do that. I just push. I just go through the bars, and I don't even pay attention. I don't look at nothing. I just. So but yeah, we tend to pay attention to a lot of shit that people in the streets wouldn't. So as soon as I hang up the call, and I was like, man, I was thinking about my brother, because I'm the only one that didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him. Because when that happened to him, he was on life support, so they kept him alive for like 14 days. So everybody went over there to the hospital, and everybody was able to say goodbye to him. Uh, my mom didn't have, my dad and my mom, they didn't have money to keep him alive. Uh, they could have kept him alive, but they were charging the arm and the leg, homie. That over there, if you don't have insurance in Guadalajara or in Mexico, it's different. The what's it called? The hospital things, the health insurance it's kind of different over there. You gotta really be very rich or something for that kind of incidents. People that get shot, people that get stabbed, they really want to make sure that you have money to pay for whatever they're gonna do before they even do it. So if you don't have the money, what they do is they'll keep you alive for a while, and then you still gotta pay for them days that they kept them alive. My mom's still paying for that to this day. Just for the 14 days that they kept them alive, I think they charged my mom like 60 G's, homie. And that was crazy, man. Like, that's a cold thing, like how they abuse the love that people have for their loved ones, and they take advantage of it and charge so much money. And you know damn well it didn't cost them that much to keep somebody alive on a life support for 16 days. And I could say it probably ran them about $3,000, but they want like 50 or 60,000 bucks. So yeah, it was like a real hard thing for me to go through. But yeah, I'm gonna keep pushing from there. And I get like a little knot in my throat when I talk about him, man, because to this day I haven't cried for him. Like I have this fear in here that if I start crying, dog, that I'm just so afraid that if I finally let go and I start crying about it, for everything that has happened, all my tios that have died, my grandma when she died, I'm so scared that I'm just not gonna be able to stop. So I kind of hold back. I get the tears running down. I get the tears that come down, but like I cannot cry. Like it's crazy, and I feel bad because who doesn't cry for their brother out there? Well, in here is a little different. Maybe if I would have been by my, if I would have already had my single cell, single self status by then, I probably would have, but I still had a celly at the time. So yeah, man, I get the news. I get the news from my little niece, man, and I want to say she was somewhere around that age, between 11 and 13. I don't remember. And my little niece, man, Denise. It's a trip because her name is Denise, so I used to always call her my little niece, Denise. And we were so close, dog. Like, she used to write me letters, like on at least 2 letters a week. We used to write to each other back and forth, and I was giving her advice, like boy, girlfriend, whenever she got her first boyfriend, what to look for in a guy, don't worry about having a boyfriend, pay attention to your education, you want to be the first one to make your parents proud, I want you to be the first one to go to college in our family. And sure enough, she made it, man. She ended up going to college, and she became a school psychologist. She went to San Diego State University, and she got her PhD or whatever. I don't know. I think she went for like 8 years. So I don't know what kind of degree she got, but she ended up getting a good ass job. And man, I read that letter, dog, and man, it was the beginning. I knew right away that I couldn't have my mom go through losing another child, which was me in prison. So I was like, man, I gotta figure out a way to be good and change my ways and get out of prison, And at that time, they still weren't giving lifers. They weren't giving lifers release dates or nothing. But I knew that if I stayed on the active line, odds are that I was going to pick up more time because I had already picked up 9 years. So it was already in my mind that I didn't want to be active anymore. When I heard about the new program they were doing, which was at that time I think they had already started the S&Y program. Although I didn't like the sound of the name, like S&Y, I never understood why they named it S&Y. To me, it was just people, locking it up. People getting tired of the game, and people just want to go, and they don't want to have to deal with the drama no more. So, man, like I said I think I said earlier in the story, I was scared. I didn't know how to do it, so I was still walking around, and I was still playing the whole part like I was, I was going to ride it forever, and nobody does. In the history of CDC and for as long as California's had prisons, I doubt anybody has done their whole entire, unless you did maybe 10 or 15 years and maybe got killed on a ride.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Maybe did like 10 or 15 years and got killed or something, on the ride, or got stabbed and got killed or something like that. But like, I think the furthest I've ever seen anybody go on the active line was like maybe like 37, 40 years. Because everybody gets tired of it. I don't know if you do stories for people that are in the active line, but and I'm pretty sure that they'll tell you like, oh yeah, I'm never gonna lock it up. This is me for the rest of my life. I used to say that, when I was in my 10th year. I would see the homies lock it up all the time. I was like, yeah, hell no, I ain't never gonna do that. I'll die before I do that, So a lot of us, when we're going through, especially in our youth, when we're young, we're thinking we're gonna be active forever, until you start to see all the conniving, all the lies, everybody's fucking, trying to get, trying to be somebody, everybody's trying to.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Everybody wants to be some kind of shot caller. Everybody wants to be somebody big, and I never looked at it that way. I always wanted peace. I always wanted peace because I had no peace. Even when I was out there and I was wanted and I was running around with them fools, I couldn't sleep, man. I was probably sleeping 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours at a time, but I had no peace. So all I wanted was peace, and I knew I had to come on this side. I think we got like about 30 seconds on.
Nah, we got about 10 seconds. We're at 15 minutes
Okay,
and
so
23 seconds.
okay, so I'm gonna hang up and I'll call back right now.
All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be waiting. All right, so I normally I don't run the calls this late, but unfortunately today, I was working pretty much the whole day. I got home kind of late today, and I happened to see the Javier. The Javier was up, and he was willing to jump on our live. So I, went ahead and seized the opportunity, and that's why we're currently live right now. And I do see that there's 2 people watching right now. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying or find it interesting. What he's speaking about. He's been down a long time. He's been down for 30 years so far, and hopefully, he's able to, parole one of these next time that he goes up to the parole board. All right, and there he is.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
All right, Javier, thank you for calling me back. And you know what? I was going to tell you something. From now on, when you do call in, yeah, we just go ahead and run it. We'll run it with the Spanish prompts, so like that I don't get any copyrights issues with YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Simón.
All right, gracias.
Okay. Okay, so man, you know what? I was thinking out right now while I was down and back. I was thinking, man, you know what? Selena's was ugly, bro. It was like I've never done so much lockdown time, no program time, like Selena's. I mean, like I said in the past, a lot of times we probably only had like 26 to 30 days out of a year of regular program, which was yard, school, whatnot, But and I'm sitting there thinking, what else can I mention about what happened there? And a lot of it was just being in the house, fucking drinking. Everybody's getting high. Everybody's miserable, homie, and everybody's plotting on each other. Everybody's writing letters up there. Everybody's telling on everybody who's fucking up. Todos andan de chismosos, everybody's gossiping. Everybody's fucking trying to, deflect all the heat off of them. Everybody's trying to be somebody. Everybody's talking about what's going to happen. They're laying everybody out. Things are going to change. Who's going to get hurt? Who's going to get stabbed? Who did this? Who did that? And you couldn't shake it, homie. Even if you were, in the cell with your celly, people were sending you kites, like my celly, he was part of the little group that decides and does the vote of who's gonna do what, who's whatever, And a lot of times he would hand me the kites because he couldn't even deal with it anymore. And I would read the kites, and I was like, man, and I would tell him before I even read the kite, like, hey, dog, why don't you already just step down, homie, before it's too late, And I think I mentioned it that the homie, him and another of the homies ended up having a deal with each other because they were both writing, to other people and, pretty much complaining about each other to somebody up there, So they weren't liking that, so they made these fools handle that shit. Like, man, you guys are like little girls. Like, just fucking handle that shit. Get it over with. So sure enough, they handled it, and then that celly was gone. And then they put another celly in my house. And this kid was so much in debt for drugs, and he was only like 20 years old, homie, 19 years old. He had only been in TDC like 2 years, but his old celly had got him strung out. Look, you know what? Now that I'm not on this subject, I'm gonna tell you guys how people, how kids that come in here that don't use drugs start to use drugs. Because a lot of dudes start using drugs in prison, man. Especially if they drive up to a 180 level 4, no program, far away from home. They're not getting no visits. They're not getting to use the phone because the phones back then, and man, it was a trip. Like if you drove up and you weren't A1A status, you were A to B, you only get one phone call a month. And it was ugly. And if you were A1A and you had a job, A1A is when you get a job or you go to school. A2B is when you barely drive up and you don't got a job, you don't go to school. And that shit takes sometimes 6 months to get a job, sometimes a year. So, you're going out, sometimes going through the whole year, only getting one phone call a month. So if you got a girlfriend, best believe you're going to lose that girl. Because if you're not constantly calling your girl and, getting lovey-dovey with them, and, she's going to find love somewhere else out there. It's like, you can't stop them, man. They got, girls, they need love out there, too. So they can't, So a lot of dudes were losing the girls, and they were hard timing them. So, well, they were doing drugs. So what happens is, a lot of times you end up getting selfed up with an older homie that's strung out. And he's like really, really doing drugs every day. And, he's spending all his canteen money on dope, all his packages, he's plucking all his shit, his tea, his CD players, everything, it's crazy, man, like some sad shit. So after they do all that and they pluck all their shit, they find youngsters that barely got locked up, and they move them in. But they first they treat them real good, and they shower them with little gifts and drawings and tattoos, and hey, move in your own boy, I'll tattoo on you or whatever, right? So you're moving in there, fool, and what they do is they start bringing drugs into the cell, and they try to entice the kid so he could start doing drugs with them. And then they try to get him to start poking his veins and doing it through the veins so he could get that kid strung out because he knows he just barely got busted. His parents are looking out for him. His girlfriend's sending him money. So now he's going to fucking pretty much carry him on help him bring drugs to the house. So it's going to help him support his habit. So that's how a lot of dudes end up getting strung out in prison, man. So that's the true, raw fact. It's not like one day a kid just said, hey, I want to slam. Let me get that needle. Hey, I want to try heroin. No, hell no, man. They're pretty smooth about because they tried it on me, Like, you know what? I tried I tried heroin. I never liked it. I tried it 3 times, and I always wondered, like, what the fuck do you guys like about this? Every time I tried it, I was in the toilet throwing up. And I was, like, fucking feeling dizzy. I couldn't see straight. I was seeing cross-eyed. Throughout the whole time, I was miserable. And I would tell my Sally, like, hey, fool, why do you like this shit? And I fool, like, hella gal, just looking.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And he would look at me and tell me, you don't like it? I'm like, fuck no, I don't like this shit. So I would go, like, maybe, I'm going to say maybe like 3 or 4 years, and then I get another Sally. And he, we go on a lockdown, and he's bringing drugs into the cell, and I'm not fucking with it, but sometimes they catch you at a day when you're down and bored and you're gullible. Sometimes you break and you say, fuck it, let me try it again. So that's how I did, like, throughout my whole term. I would dabble here and there, but I never liked it. I was trying to find out why everybody was doing it. What is it that I'm not doing right? Why am I not feeling as good as I see everybody feeling? A lot of dudes would sit there and they look like they're feeling good. Every time I did it, I was not feeling good. I was hating myself. It's like drinking too. Every time I drank, the next day in the morning, I couldn't stand the fucking the cruda. The morning sickness. It was nasty. and then the flavor of the pruno was like on your every burp and every breath, and it was ugly. So yeah, a lot of kids were getting strung out, man. That prison right there was so ugly. I ended up doing from 2000 to 2006 right there when I finally locked it up, man. I remember my cellie put the kite through the door, and the cop, like the midnight officer that came like around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, he grabbed the kite and came hit the next day in the morning right after breakfast. The other officer came and he whispered to us on the door like, "Hey, just pack all your shit. We got you," you know. And when they were taking us out, they cuffed us like we were in trouble. You know, they announced it on the loudspeaker, "Hey, YANEZ," and the other homie's last name, and they told them, "Hey, y'all, you guys got a 115 here." And like, what the fuck? So we had to play along with the whole. Yeah, it was all bullshit. There was no 115 here, and we were bouncing. And on the way out, on the last section, there's like little glass walls. So everybody was looking out through the glass walls and the big old windows, and they were like, "Where you guys going?" You know, it was hella early for a 115 here, so these guys were kind of through. Like, it threw us on the bus. They never do 115 here. It's that early in the morning. And then they were cuffing us. Like, what the fuck? So, man, it was such an embarrassment. It was so, like, I felt a hot flash, it was like the ugliest feeling. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to express the feeling how it feels when you finally lock it up. It's like you feel like such a fucking piece of shit, but you know it's for the best. You know, you're like, man, I have to, you know. But everybody feels that way. You know, and if you don't feel some type of way, that means you were just never real from the gate, you know, because everybody has to feel that. Because everybody I ask that comes on this side, they all say the same thing. But they fool, that was like the most horrible feeling ever, you know, because sometimes they take you in the program office and there's workers in there. And the workers, they know you. You know, they've been in that prison with you for 10, 15 years. And when they see you, they're like, "What's up? Where you going?" You know, they have no idea what you're going through. They know that you're good. They know that they checked your paperwork.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
They check the paperwork and everything about you checks out, but they're not knowing that you're already tired and you just want to go and you're not trying to look at nobody. Well, when I went, that's what happened. You know, I ran into like 3 of the homies that worked there, and they were like coming back and forth, going in and out of that little room, because it's like a little closet. And inside that closet, like a walk-in closet, there's 1, 2, 3, there's like 6 stand-up cages, little tiny cages that could put you in there and strip search you, and they serve you your lockup order. And so, yeah, they were going in and out and asking me, you know, like, I didn't even know what to tell them. I was like, "Hey, homie, I'm done." Like, "Nah, Harry." I go, "Yeah, I'm done." They're like, "Why?" He goes, "For no reason, homie. I'm just fucking done, homie." And a lot of them dudes knew. A lot of them dudes knew that my brother, I had just got news that my brother had passed. So they're like, you know, they kind of like figured, like, man, Harry just couldn't handle it, you know. Harry want to go cry in the SNY yard. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, nobody was really talking shit about me or nothing. Like I said, I didn't cause no kind of damage. I didn't get nobody in trouble, none of that. So like when I'm on this side and I see people coming from, you know, from prisons that I've been, that I know them, that I did time with them when I was active, I go up to them and I feel comfortable just talking to them and just, you know, talking about the past like nothing. And they tell me, like, "Yeah, fool, when you bounced, yeah," they were mad. Everybody was like, "What the fuck? Why?" You know, a lot of dudes come on this side when they owe money for drugs or when they fucking tell on somebody or because they got like sex crimes or whatever. You know, and, you know, not since like the 90s, the late 90s, a lot of people just started getting tired of it. So a lot of dudes, you'll hear that from a lot of us that have came on this side. When you ask them why you came on this side, they'll tell you, fucking get tired of the fucking drama. You're tired of these dudes fucking thinking they're harder than you, or that You know, a lot of these dudes are related to people that have been in the system for a long time, so they play favoritism, you know, and they give them positions of fucking, they give them positions that are up there where they telling you what to do, and they're younger than you, and only because they're related to certain people, they feel they could fucking boss you around and tell you to go, you know, hey, homeboy needs to get dealt with, you know, you ain't done nothing in a while, so, you know, we voted you in, you got to do this. Like, fuck, you know, it was an ugly feeling. You know, he got this little 25 years old, the little 22, 25-year-old telling a dude that's 40 years old that he got to go over there and whack somebody or, you know, take care of something. And, you know, you're looking at this kid and you know why, you know, I'll tell you, either he's got...
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Either he got money, or he bought his way in there, or he's related to somebody. So yeah, people are getting tired of this shit. I mean, like I said though in the beginning, you know, to each his own, man. And I respect it throughout my whole time. I always respected all the reglas that we have. You know, I never broke none of the reglas. You know, I followed the little thing, the little program, the little lifestyle that we have to live in here. Not just out of fear, just because that I've always been like that. You know, whatever my mom set rules in the house. That she, you know, my dad didn't want us playing rap music in the house. So we never played rap music in the house when my dad was in there. I mean, when my dad was there, but as soon as my dad would leave, my mom would allow it. So okay. So it was like it's almost the same thing in here. Like, you know, certain things you can't do, you know, depending who's right.
All right, so he went ahead and hit the 15-minute mark. After 15 minutes, these calls are automatically terminated, so he should be calling us shortly in the next few moments. So just go ahead and sit tight, and he'll go ahead and continue down his journey within the California Department of Corrections. Right now, he's currently speaking about when he finally decided to walk away and throw in the towel. What the process was like for him to. I guess to go through his hearings and whatnot. So he's about to really get into. There we go.
This call is now being recorded.
Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello. Hey Javier. So
hey.
Just because I'm sure there's some people on here that have never heard one of these live calls, because somebody just put a comment on here that he puts A1 put a damn calling from the tablets at 1 a.m. Game changer. If so, this is currently live right now. So you are it is 1 a.m. Yeah, you're right. So hey, if you have any questions for him, feel free to go ahead and drop any questions in there, and I'll go ahead and read up the questions. Normally I'll do that in between the calls. So if there's anything you're curious about knowing, from things that happen in prison, feel free to go ahead and drop that in there, and I'll read them off to him. And it's all you.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you got one in there right now that's listening?
Well, there's actually 6 people right now, but nobody's putting anything in the chat. So I'm assuming it might be like a lot people that normally haven't tuned in. So just went ahead, I threw that out there.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So that the whole time that I was right there, bro, it was just pretty much dead time. I mean, but I always make sure that I learn how to do something. That's when I got real good at my drawing, because I spent so much time in that cell. We would wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, even though we got nowhere to go. It was part of the fucking routine. Every fucking day I wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, clean the cell. Your cellie, you take turns with your cellie. I'm on the top bunk, he's in the bottom bunk. After he's done, we count down, we eat breakfast, we work out, and then we would draw or play chess. You know, me and my kids, I would draw from like maybe 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, till like about maybe like 7:30, right before prime time, right before the TV shows and shit. Cause I used to look forward to the certain shows they had at that time. You know, they had a show called 24. I don't know if you remember watching that. And everybody was hooked on that shit. You know, that's all we had to look forward to. To prime time, we watch certain kind of shows, and the whole section, we would all get into certain shows because there was nothing else happening right there. You know, we weren't getting no yard. The lockdowns, every time somebody got stabbed, the average lockdown will be in between a month and a half to 3 months. You know, and every time something happened, they'll come in our house and fucking thrash our homes. You know, they take your TV, they take your CD player, anything that looked like it had a scratch and it didn't belong to you, they would take. So not only were we fucking going on a lockdown, they were just taking whatever little luxury and little extras we had. So they were trying to make it hella miserable for us. So you had to fucking be strong. You had to learn how to do something. A lot of dudes were doing picture frames, drawing, playing chess. Some dudes would play chess on the tira with the numbers, and every so often somebody would strike up a conversation from cell to cell, and sometimes we start clowning on a tira. And yeah, that whole time, man, that whole time right there was ugly, dog. That was one prison I just did. I didn't like the program right there. It was not happening. But finally, when I came on this side, I ended up going to the hole. I was in the hole for about maybe 3 months waiting to see where they were going to send me. You know, I never been to none of these non-active yards, so I was like, I couldn't really sleep. I was wondering what's the process, what's going to happen, am I going to run into people I know, whatever, right? But Chapat on this though, while I'm there, right, I could see into the yard that I left. And I kept seeing the ambulances going in and out of the patio.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Like for a whole day, it was like a bunch of ambulances, and I kept seeing the cops in hazmat suits, but they were like in white suits. What the fuck's going on over there? Like throughout the whole day, I could see people going in and out. And there was like a gang of buses driving up with a gang of officers. What the fuck? So as soon as I left, I guess they had made everybody. They were maybe, I want to say a food strike or something, and they were doing cellar strikes. So it was a palabra sent that every single homie had to get cellar striked. So a lot of dudes didn't want to deal with it. So a lot of them were locking up. They're like, fuck that. Why am I going to get self-extracted? For what? You know, so basically what they were telling them to do was board up, cover your windows, put a lock on your door, try to booby trap your door. Don't let the cops in your cell. So when that happens, they come suited and booted with a bunch of gear, and they break open into your cell, and they beat the shit out of your homie. They spray with a gang of gas and pepper spray and all kinds of shit. So that, you know, everybody was supposed to do that over some kind of strike or to protest something. I don't know if it was because there wasn't enough lockdown or they were messing with somebody. So a lot of dudes were like, fuck that. I'm not gonna fucking do all this shit to get hurt, you know. So a lot of dudes, I remember like in one day it was like 12 of the homies locked it up. They're like, fuck that shit. So that's how I found out what was going on over there, because when a couple of homies that I knew from that yard drove up, I asked them, I go, hey, fool, what's going on over there? Then first thing he said, like, hey, fool, hey, you locked it up? Hey, fool, I locked it up too. I'm like, why you do it? And I told him my reasons, you know, and then he told me, hey, fool, they wanted me to self-extract. I'm cool. I'm not going to fucking get hurt, you know, because sometimes these cops, they go in there and they really put some hurt in you, homie. These dudes, you know, the cops are all geared up. There's nothing you could do to them. You know, they got vests. You know, you could kick and punch and everything, but the only thing you're gonna hit is hard plastic or glass, because they got these big old shields that they put in front of them when they're going in your house. And I mean, they're beating you up. Fool, they're breaking your legs. They're breaking your hands, your fingers. These cops really take that shit personal when you don't want to come out your house. So yeah, man. I finally left, man. I finally left. I was right there in the hallway, and it sent me to. I ended up going to Pleasant Valley. That was my first non-active yard, and I'm there, dog, and I'm tripping. I'm like, man, the fear of the unknown. So I drive up. They put me in a cell, and they took some dude at the same time that I left. They threw him in a bus, and they made us cellies. This dude was we out Europe. He was a native, an Indio from up north, and he was cool. He was cool, man. We got along pretty good, and we showed up, and he told me why. I told him why. He had a little fucking a nice little radio, a little boom box, and I hooked it up. We set up a little system in the cell, and we were working out every day, getting ready for whatever the hell we were gonna face, because we never been on this side. And I'm looking out the door, and I'm starting to see certain tattoos that I've never seen, certain numbers and names of gangs on this side. And I had no idea that you come on this side that they had gangs. I mean, I was clueless. I had no idea. I started seeing, I was like, man, I wonder what the tattoos mean. And my cellie was telling me the same thing. We're like, fuck, I wonder what it is. And, we didn't ask. We just kept it to ourselves, but we couldn't help but we were curious. We found out later. I'll get to that part later. But, yeah, man, so we're there, and I was there. I'm going to say I was there. I was going to, he invited me to the grass ceremonies with the Indians and the sweat lodge. Because my mom and my dad, they're straight Indios. My mom's from Guadalajara. They got the Huichol Indians, and my dad's from Zacatecas. I think they got some, man, I forgot what tribes. The same kind, the tribes they got over here. I think Apache or something like that. They got them over there in Zacatecas. And so I started going to Sweat with the Indios, and I wanted to see what it was like. And it was cool, and I did it for a while. And at that time, we were still getting packages, regular personal packages from the streets, where you send a slip home, and your parents or your family could put a package together. They got to follow that list and the little rules and little items you could get and what you cannot get. So they had just switched over to packages from the companies. But I was trying to get a package because, man, I got peeled for a bunch of my property. And you come on this side, they pretty much peel you. They steal all your shit. They're like, all right, motherfucker, you want to lock it up? We're going to take your shit. So a lot of dudes get that. A lot of dudes just get peeled. You end up coming here and you have nothing. So I'm telling my mom, my sisters, I need all my shit. I need a TV again. I need a radio. I need clothes. I need shoes. So I'm trying to put this package together because I need to get situated. And they got this dude that works in the program office, and they gave him like a stack, I'm going to say maybe 300 package catalogs, and they're supposed to be for free.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And this dude takes him out to his house, and he starts to sell them on a tier. Everybody's new to this. They had just stopped the regular packages. Now you got to buy them, but you got to get this book, and it's a catalog. He was selling the catalogs for $2 a piece, and I knew that was not right. So I remember I went up to him, and I got mad. I couldn't withhold I had so much anger in me because I knew he was getting over on people, and he's not supposed to be selling the catalogs. So I told him, I called him every word. I called him a snitch. I'm new. I still have that active mentality. Like I'm around a bunch of PCs. I keep forgetting I'm here now. I'm just like these dudes. But I don't want to accept it yet. So I start telling this dude like, hey homie, I'm not gonna pay for that fucking car. You're gonna give me one, homie. Everybody gets one. You're supposed to pass them out for free, homie. I know this shit was gonna happen. I knew that we were gonna get catalogs. And because you work in the program office, you think you're going to bring them here and you're going to sell them. They give them to you for you to pass out, not to sell them. And he didn't like that, dog. And I sensed he was getting a little antsy and a little froggy, like he was getting crazy with me. And so I called him out of his name, homie, and boom, he dropped me. He dazed me, dog. He didn't knock me out. He just dazed me. And I was like, fuck, man. So here I am, man. I'm I'm getting up. I got up and I'm trying to fucking walk towards him, and the cop opens the door for him to go in the cell, you know, because this dude, I guess he's got a little hoodoo with the sergeant, the cops. He's been there for a while. He's like their little pet, their little favorite inmate and shit. And I'm new here, so you know these guys, they don't give a fuck. So I'm trying to go into his house, the door open, and his cellie, I had met his cellie like a week before, and we got along pretty good. And his cellie's telling me like, "Nah, homie, hey, Javi, nah, stay out there, stay out. I want to go in the house and get it with this dude, you know. I want to get it, man. I want my run back, you know." And because the homie, you know, I didn't go in the cell just because the homie, I was cool with him. He's like, nah, hey, Javi, kick back. So, you know, he ended up going back in the cell. The cop closed the door on him, and he didn't come out of his cell for like a week. So the sergeant was going in and out of the building, telling him, "Hey, what's up? You got to come to work." You know, he was one of them dudes that types at 115s, the write-ups. He works so they need him. He's considered a critical worker, but he's not coming out of the cell. And I'm like, fuck, man, this shit's ugly. And I'm over here like plotting on him. So I wrote him a couple of kites. So I kind of finessed it, you know. And I wrote him, you know, "Hey, homie, I'm sorry. It was my fault. I just barely came on this side." I'm just trying to get him out because I need to get my run back. I cannot let this shit go, you know, stay the way it is right now, because you don't never want to let that shit go in prison. You know, you get hit, you got to hit back. So I still have that mentality. I'm barely coming here on this side. You know, I want to make sure people are going to respect me. So, yeah, sure enough, that fool came out. I finally convinced him. So on the way to chow, you know, I approached him and bam, I got him. So I was on SNY yard for 5 months, and I caught my first shoe on this side. I had already done shoe turns on the other side, but this was my first shoe on this side. So, yeah, I ended up going to the...
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
I broke my hand, too, on top of all things, and fucking, they were looking for... They couldn't find the fierro. They were looking for the weapon all over the yard, the roof, everywhere, because they found holes in his head, on his face, and all that. And believe it or not, I didn't hit him with no weapon, but they wrote it up as me hitting him with the weapon. But I think it must have been my knuckles were so sharp that they busted holes on his forehead, because he had big old holes in his forehead. You know, they gave you pictures of the incident, so you get the picture. I'm like, okay, so I understand why you guys think I used a weapon, but I didn't. You know, so they wrote me up as an assault inmate with a weapon. And here I go again, you know, getting in trouble. You know, I came on this side because I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do good, but I couldn't let this dude fucking get over on people like that. You know, because there was a bunch of old people there and a bunch of youngsters paying them.
All right, so it's that time during the call where the calls get cut off. Once again, he should be calling us back shortly, and as soon as he does, then he'll go ahead and continue with his story. His first 6 months within the SNY, pretty much. And once again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask any of the questions in the chat. And normally, I'll take the opportunity when these calls get disconnected. As soon as we reconnect, I'll go ahead and ask them those questions.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Talent. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier YANEZ.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel-Link.
Hello, Javier.
Nope. Yeah.
Oh, hey, I mean, the Mexican Wolverine.
Abuelita de Batman. Oui. What's up, homie? What a trip, huh? Hey, you know what? I got a question, man. So Okay, so Trip, you're gonna laugh. So while I was telling the last part, I didn't realize because I had my eyes closed, right?
Hmm.
Because I'm in the dark and the screen is right there, and I didn't realize the phone had hung up already until I noticed a little change of light on my because I had my eyes closed, but you know how you can still notice when the light goes off or on,
Yeah.
and I noticed that there was a change of light. I was like, oh shit! I wonder how much I kept talking before I even found out that the phone had hung up. You know.
So the
So
last
yeah, I
part,
don't know.
the last
What
part
did I say at the end?
was when they when you hit him and they thought that you hit him with a weapon. That's pretty
Oh,
much.
okay, yeah. So yeah, so but you know what, homie? It was all bullshit, dog. This dude was a fucking straight undercover fucking inmate telling on the whole yada, homie. Like I guess everybody was trying to fuck this fool up for the longest, but nobody was willing to do it. You know, nobody wants to get in trouble. Plus, he was a big ass dude, you know. And I was like, fuck, man. And my luck, homie, a lot of my fights in prison, it's always been big ass dudes. But that's when you want to do it, homie. That way, you know, that everybody knows that, you know, hey, homie, that shit looks good. You little ass dude find a big ass dude, man, and I'm known for that. You know, there's a couple dudes in this yard that I fought. You know, we're older now, and we always clown about it. And like, fucking Harry, you crazy. I fought a big ass Samoan one time, and they're like, fucking Harry, you're the craziest motherfucker ever. I go,
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I got the little man complex, you know. So you know, I'm not that little. I'm 5'8". I'm like 5'7", 5'8". But you know, I still feel like I'm a little shorter. You know what I mean? I've always wished I was a little taller. So yeah, man. These cops, they fucking they play favoritism because when you get in a fight with somebody, they seen that he punched me first. You know, remember I told you the cop opened the door. As soon as he seen that, the cop opened the door. And the cop was supposed to push the alarm and call everybody, and that's considered a mutual combat. Not only that, he punched me first. He dropped me. On him, it was supposed to be a battery on him because I just dropped. But I got up right away, you know. But I was like, man, what if I would have just dropped and laid there? They wouldn't have done nothing to that dude. They would have just turned a blind eye, you know. But it's a trip. So you're gonna trip. Well, once I get to the part where, man, look. So okay, so they wrote it up as me hitting them with a weapon, and they never found the weapon. So when I was in the hole, they had to drop it down to just regular battery. So I'm in the right after it happened. You know, they cuffed me up. My hand is. I didn't realize I had broke my hand. It was fat, like my whole hand was instantly swollen. So they threw me in the medical tank, and they continued. They resumed the walk. Everybody was on the way to chow, so they walk. When they're walking to chow, they could see in the window in the holding tank, and when everybody was walking by there, everybody was like clapping and giving me hands like thumbs up because they were that happy that fool got. I mean, because he got served. I mean, that fool looked like he got fucking. I mean, his head was fuck his face. No, I let him have it, homie. I had to. I guess all the anger I had, you know, for coming on this side, and then my brother had just gotten killed, so I think I blew up on him and I let him have it, and so I was pretty proud of my. I mean, like that was a big ass fool. I fucked that fool up, you know. So you know, I was proud of myself, but you know, I was already kind of like I was also mad at myself because I'm coming on this side because I want to do good, you know. So in a way, I kind of took one for the team because this dude has, for as long as he's been in the yard, he has been getting over on people. He's got four jobs. You know, these cops let him get away with everything, but nobody's doing nothing to do. So I kind of felt like a little hero, a little hero inside the prison. Like, man, you know what? I just couldn't let that go, homie. I seen his little greedy ass fucking selling the catalogs, and I fucking instantly was so angry, homie. It just got the best of me, you know. And so yeah, like a bunch of a bunch of dudes were looking in there, and I was holding my hand. I was showing everybody how bad it was because you could see the bones sticking, like protruding through the skin. And they're like, damn. But yeah, that fool was fucked up, dog. So I ended up taking me to the hole, and get this, right? When I get to the hole, they denied me medical attention. That's how much love they have for this certain inmate, homie. They were supposed to take me to the right there from the medical tank. They were supposed to take me to the main infirmary. You know, put a cast on my hand, X-rays, and all that. Instead, they took me from that medical tank, and all they did was put an ace bandage on my hand and gave me a Motrin for the pain and sent me to the hole. So I get to the hole, and my cellie is like, nah, homie, they got to take you to the hospital. So that shit was bad. And they didn't. So I couldn't sleep. My hand was throbbing, fool, and all I had was like regular Tylenol or ibuprofen. So the homie made like a little tie and tied my hand with like a little holster and tied it to the light fixture in the roof so I could keep my hand elevated. So I slept with my hand elevated like that for like for 2 days, homie. I had to keep my hand up, and finally my cellie did like a boarding up. He covered the window, and we refused to let the cops look inside the cell until they brought somebody that gave me medical attention. And sure enough, the ambulance came, and they took me to. Not only did they give me medical attention in the prison, the ambulance came. I went in an ambulance all the way to a hospital in Fresno. You know, like if I was dying, I was like, what the fuck? It's for a broken hand, and that was crazy. Like they finally realized that they couldn't do that to me because I was hurting. I wanted to cry. It was that bad. I was hurting bad. I couldn't sleep. And finally, I guess one of the officers said, "Hell no, I ain't gonna be part of this lawsuit." And yeah, they ordered a ambulance, and they took me all the way to the hospital in Fresno. And I ended up getting a cast or whatever. And so I was right there in the hole for like about 7 months. And then they served me. They gave me a shoe, and by the time my shoe, I went to committee and got served a shoe, and they decided what was going to happen. And I had already finished doing all my time that I had to pay for that incident. And they put me off for transfer. I went to where did I go? They put me off for transfer to Kern Valley. So I drive up to Kern Valley. And, that yard that I drove up to C Yard, it was a brand new prison. The walls still had fresh cement. The whole block had, when cement barely dries and you could smell fresh cement. It was a brand new building, brand new bunks, brand new sheets. Everything was brand new. So I felt like, okay, here's my chance. Fresh start. Let's try this again. So I'm there. I drive up to C Yard. And I didn't even last but like 4 months. I got another shoe turn. So I'm there, and this dude, they put this dude in my house, man. He's in a wheelchair. Right? And he's just playing the system because he's in the house. We're working out together. He's doing burpees. I'm doing burpees. And he's talking about how much he's getting over on the system. He's giving morphine pills. At that time, they had gave the whole medical was the feds took over the whole medical department at CDC because too many inmates were filing lawsuits that we weren't giving righteous medical care. So the feds took over, and you could go in there for anything, and they were giving you morphine, methadone. At one point I even got a patch, a fentanyl patch, because I got kicked in the nuts, and they did I went to the hospital for some kind of surgery because I guess it hurt me that bad during a fight, and they ended up doing some kind of surgery, and they gave me a fentanyl patch. So I was on a fentanyl patch, and at that time I didn't even realize that I had never even heard of fentanyl. It was like a clear, odorless little patch that goes on they put it in your hand or your chest. So everybody's working this, going to medical just to get high. Because the feds are giving up dope like candy, morphine, methadone, you name it. They were giving out all kinds of shit. And that happened for like 2 or 3 years. So my celly's working the system, and I already know there's no.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I know there's nothing wrong with them, man, and I fix radios, TVs, and I was in there fixing up, hustling, making money, and I didn't want to ask my family for money, so I was in there making my own money, and I thought I was teaching them how to fix radios and TVs and all that. So we both making money, and we're both going to the store. We're living good, you know what I mean? But I wasn't liking the fact that he was like always acting like he was better than me because he was getting morphine like 3 times a day. And no, and he ended up getting it for 4 times a day, and he was selling each pill for like $30. So he's making like 20 times more than what I'm making, but I'm making my money legit. I'm fixing radios, I'm earning it. He's not. He's playing the system. So I used to talk to him about that. Like, hey, bro, you don't feel kind of bad doing that shit? Like, don't you feel better earning your money, like, righteous, like, working for it? And, nah, man, I fool used to laugh about it. So I wasn't really liking his little stilo because he didn't have no kind of like, he didn't feel bad. Like, he didn't feel bad doing that shit. I never did that. I never worked the system. Even when everybody was doing the welfare fraud, I didn't want to do it. I didn't do it. I just didn't feel comfortable doing that because I knew that I wanted to stay in the United States. I love this country, so I didn't want to get deported, so I want to be able to have a chance. So I always had that in my mind, like, I'm not going to play none of this shit. So I ended up moving. Me and him moved out, and he was in charge of 2 radios that they gave him to fix. So when I moved out, he went, like the 3rd day, he went and dropped off a radio in front of my door and told me that I had to fix it. And I told him, nah, dog, you agreed you were going to fix those. That's your problem. You fix them. I even paid him. I go, look, I'll give you $20 here. I don't want nothing to do with that. Those are your radios. You fix them. I don't want to fix them, and I don't want to deal with that dude. And he went out to the yard. He was talking all kinds of shit. And, and then he was borrowing money from me. I was still treating him good, even though he wasn't my celly. I was letting him borrow shit. And, I got to where he started paying me, but he still owed me like $10 or $15, and he was not paying me. And he's going out to the yard telling people all kinds of shit, like, oh yeah, Javi, he ain't gonna do shit. He's not gonna do nothing. He's a bitch. I'm getting rumors, and the dudes are telling me, I know him pretty good. I know they're not making this shit up, Everybody thinking that this dude's paralyzed. They're thinking that he's really hurt, that he's in a wheelchair, that he really needs some medication. But I know the truth. I live with him. And so I tell him, I go, hey, dog, you pay me like $10 and fucking shut your ass, keep talking, stop talking shit on me, you're, just because you're in a wheelchair, it doesn't mean shit, dog. Like, I know there ain't nothing wrong with you. I'm not deal with your ass, dog. You stop talking shit, just pay my money. Or fucking rides me a kite and pretty much threatens my life, dog. And that's one thing I cannot let go. When somebody threatens my life, somebody threatens you in prison, dog, you can't just swap. You can't let it be. You have to nip it in the bud. You got to go take care of it. So sure enough, honey, that's a threat. It's either that and, I already locked it up. There's nowhere to go. You can't lock it up. Once you come on this side, there's nowhere to go. So I said, fuck, man.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
So I went to the yard. Of that, and fucking, he got plucked. He got his feathers plucked, and fucking, I caught another shoe turn for assault with a weapon, for stabbing him. And, I was so glad that fool jumped up and everybody seen that he wasn't paralyzed because the whole yard started laughing. As soon as he felt the first poke of the fierro, he got up and he started fighting, so we're in a fight. He had a little weapon too, so we're going at it for a while. And but I was so glad he got up, man. I was like, man, this shit's not gonna look good. You need stabbing somebody in the wheelchair, But there was never nothing wrong with him. So at the same time, man, everybody got to see how phony, how fake he was, because he was telling everybody he couldn't walk. And he was just none but he was a liar. He was a scumbag, dog. And I caught me another shoot term right there at that time.
All right, so he should be calling us back shortly. How long have we been on? We've been on for like an hour, so maybe we'll do like maybe two more calls, and then I probably have some more other streams coming up. I have some other gentlemen coming on Sunday. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do some streams later on in the day, but definitely I'll be back on Sunday. And I'm not sure how many of you have heard these streams before, but hopefully you guys keep on coming back for more, and it'll definitely help me, get into the YouTube algorithm.
Esta
This
es
call is now
Global
being
Talent.
recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Talent.
Hello.
Hello? You falling asleep yet?
Nah. I'm just tripping out on this Global Tel Link. They're millionaires, probably billions of dollars.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they got some cheap ass. They couldn't even get a real Spanish speaker, to do the announcement
Hey, I never thought of that, man. That's crazy. I never thought of that. You're right. Like, they could have got me, Hey, esta es una llamada de Global Tel Link.
Hey,
Hey, marque 5, marque Simón, abuelita de Batman right now.
Hey,
yeah, but they get the...
You would have done it for 3 packs of chili lime.
For sure. Hell yeah. For sure, homie. I would have done it for a shot of coffee with some creamer, some hazelnut creamer. But yeah, man, what a trip, man. Yeah, I was so mad at myself, dog, that I was messing up, man. I was like, here I am trying to make it good, trying to stay out of trouble, but you run into scumbags, homie. You run into people that are, you cannot threaten nobody in prison, homie, and expect nothing to happen. That's like putting a gun on somebody and not using it. So yeah, this dude messed me up, man. You know what's crazy is that I went to board like a month after that. Come on, man. I went in there and I was in there. I was like, they're just looking at me, and I'm in there in at SEG jumpsuit. Back then they were white, made out of cloth. Like, they look like one of them J-Cat fucking jackets with the long sleeve that they tie up. What they call? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the straight jackets.
For La Locos?
Yeah, the straight jackets.
Yeah, so it looks like you're in there with a straight jacket, and you're gaffled up. You're wearing leg restraints, handcuffs in your legs and your arms. I didn't even know. I think that was my first board, I think. And they're just looking at me, and I'm looking at them, and they're like, "You serious? Do you want to continue?" And I didn't even know. I was like, I told them, "Yeah, I'm just curious. Let's do this. I want to, so I can get used to, the little process and get the feel of things. I know I'm in that stage. I know I'm not gonna get a date, but let's roll." And they're like, "All right, Mr. Yanez, let's go." Yeah, sure enough, man. They're like, "You did this, you did that. You're never gonna get on. You got to change your life." And I was in agreement with them. I was like, I knew. I was like, I know I was fucking up. I was going through a lot, dog. I was tired of the drama on the main line. My brother had just gotten killed by my own cousin, my own blood cousin. I'm doing a life sentence because I didn't want to take the stand and help the DA, and I didn't want to tell nobody, pretty much. So I got served with the whole life sentence. So I'm doing somebody else's time. I didn't kill nobody. So everything's just piling up on me. I'm mad. Who's not gonna get mad? I was fucking mad. I was like, fuck. I'm not a violent person, but they're making me violent in here. I never had violence as a juvenile hall. Like, Going to juvenile hall was mostly auto theft, and you know, I'm trying to recall a time when I got busted for a violent crime, and I don't I don't have one. You know, this was my first violent crime, and yeah, no, it was fucking ugly. I ended up doing that. I did that shoe tournament, and not only that, on top of that, I used to get clowned. I was getting clowned in the shoe. They used to call me the wheelchair bandit. Like, how many people go catch a shoe tournament for standing somebody in a wheelchair, you know? And I always had to explain myself. There was nothing wrong with the dude. He used to be my Sally. We would just do burpees in the house. You know, he got up as soon as he felt he was getting stabbed. He got up and he started fighting back. It wasn't that bad, you know. But yeah, I got clowned on me, and I still get clowned too. The people that were there in that prison and that are right here when they bring it up, they're like, fucking Javi. And like, hey, homie, that dude could walk. There was nothing wrong with him. He fought back. But yeah. But I knew I had to change my mind. I had to change my mindset, and I had to just bite my tongue and let shit go, homie. That after that shoe is when I started to just no more stab. I didn't want to stab nobody no more. You know, I was only gonna fight to defend myself, or you know, stuff like that. And even then, I was never looking for fights. You know, every fight I got into, I got punched first. So it was mostly me punching back, you know, hitting back. So yeah, I ended up doing the shoe tournament. That was a trip. When I was right there in the shoe, I ended up getting real good at drawing. I was doing drawings for a bunch of officers right there. They were bringing me like some nice drawing paper, colored pencils, colored pens. I was fixing radios and TVs in the shoe and the hole, and that's unheard of, you know. And like, what you using for tools? You know, you'd be surprised, dog. You know. You come up when you want it, you know, and you want it bad, you're gonna come out with ways to fix shit. And yeah, sure enough, I was in fixing people's TVs and radios and spinning line at, you know.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
It was something, man. Damn, it's already 2:00, huh? Hello.
Hey, so trip out. Hey, trip out. So right now, hey,
yeah.
Shout out to Lifestyle Chronicles. He tapped in. He dropped a message in. He said, damn, just left a job site for an emergency plumbing leak and didn't expect to tap in at 1:55 a.m. Fire, fire, fire. And then he puts, what up, James and Javier?
What's up, homeboy? What's he doing up? Oh, they called him an emergency. He's on call with his job. Damn, that's right, homeboy.
Yeah, he said,
what are the odds of that, huh?
Yeah, he said, let's call this episode Pillow Talk.
Oh shit. I almost started laughing out loud, and I grabbed my pillow and I put it on my face because I forgot it's late. My neighbors don't want to wake them up.
They're going to jump on the bed and be like, hey, what's going on over there? Hey, they're quiet on the tira.
And they're like, hey, homie, I thought you were seeing some status. Who are you talking to, homie?
He's really losing it now.
Yeah, nah, man. Hey, you know what? Now that we're talking about like losing it, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. Like, this is like a 30-second story. So there was this dude that was doing that spice shit, right? And he got a piece of paper and he poked 2 little holes on it, and I guess he was high on spice, and he was butt ass. So he put a rubber band on a piece of. He made like a little homemade mask, poked little holes on it, and he was butt ass naked in a cell, screaming. What the fuck? So people were going to his house and they were telling him, what the fuck's wrong with you? And he was screaming, he was crying. And I was like, why are people doing this crazy ass drug? So we've had a lot of episodes like that lately. Like somehow people are doing this weird ass fucking. I don't know why they get, but yeah. Yeah, hopefully my neighbors are cool. Damn, I don't know if I'm getting sick, dog, but it's been muggy in our cells. Like, they still ain't fixed the ventilation. There's no air coming out of our vent, and it's hella muggy in here. Everybody, this morning, everybody woke up and their sheets were wet from the moisture, from the body heat, and from the heat from the TV, and the walls being so cold because it was raining out there. So all the everything got condensated in moisture in the cell. All my towels, all my clothes was like muggy and wet. So man, I hope I'm not getting sick. I felt a little cough coming on. Man, that's crazy.
Man. Just get some people rub it on your feet, and put your socks over it, and you'll be good to go. You'll be like brand new, and then put some a little bit on your chest, and vámonos.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Because I always have that shit, and I don't have it this time. I ain't got sick in a long time. Maybe it's just like a little cold, but yeah, maybe I should have fucking. I went to sleep early today. I told you, man, I came back from yard and I was burnt out. I knocked out like at 6:30 or 7. I woke up at 12 and I sent you a message. Like, what the fuck? He's up? And you're like, hey, what the hell? You're up? I'm like, yeah, you're up? What the hell? Let's do one. And here we are, 2 o'clock in the morning. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the life, though, man. It's worth living there like that, though. I mean, I never been one to be like too strict about things. Like, probably most people in my position, if they would have fell asleep at 6 and woken up at 12, they would have still tried to go back to sleep, because it's nighttime. And who says that? Because it's nighttime, you have to sleep. If you're not fucking sleepy, don't sleep, right? Yeah. I wasn't sleepy, so I was like, fuck it. I know that tomorrow I got to try to get back on track, though, because we're on school vacations for 2 weeks, so I got to make sure that I little by little I come back to my regular sleeping program, because I got to go back to school. But I'm cool right now. We don't go back till like the 7th, I think, so we're good. But yeah, man, yeah, what a trip, man. Talking about all this shit, I close my eyes a lot when I'm talking, and I'm pretty much running, and I could see myself when all this was happening, and the person that I was to the person that I am now, I'm peaceful now, dog. Like, I'm at peace with myself. I have no problems with nobody. I don't owe nobody a penny. They all owe me for fixing something, and eventually everybody pays me. There's some take forever. There's some that never pay me, and it's all right. I just don't ever do shit I don't fix nothing for them ever again, So I'm always at peace, like my little hustle provides for myself. Today I hooked up a badass system, man. I was in here knocking, man. I was subbing like a car system in my cell, and there was an officer that don't normally work this building, and he came all the way up here and he's flashing the light in my house, but I got my light on, so I don't notice it right away. He just turned to the door and bam, he hits me in the eye with a flashlight, and he tells me, "Hey, turn that shit down," I'm like, what the fuck? I thought it was regular officers in the building, because they don't trip on me as long as we're up and running and they got day room. They don't care if you're bumping, because they're not. But if they recall day room and it gets quiet, they expect you to turn it down a little bit. But I was testing out an amplifier. I hooked up a badass amplifier today, and I put little strobe lights on it. So every time the bass, it kind of it goes to the beat of the music, and I put like little fucking LED lights on it, and I was just fucking staring at it. So the LED lights and then the cop flashing the flashlight, I couldn't tell until I turned into the door, and I was like, oh shit. So I kind of got scared for a while, because sometimes they can come in your house and they'll say, we're not allowed to have speakers, and they're like, take your shit. So yeah, I went through a little episode of that today, man. But yeah, I got a lot of shit done today. Hopefully, tomorrow I get paid for some of this shit, man, because I'm running out of fucking chili lime sopas, The chili lime is a hot item. I'm running low, homie. I like that is chicken cajon and fucking beef sauvage. Now those are nasty, homie. The chicken Cajun something? They are nasty. I like the vegetable ones, the chili lime, and the regular chili. And chicken is not good. Chicken is too salty.
You don't
But
like the
yeah,
chicken
chili
ones?
lime.
Oh man, I love the chicken ones.
I don't like them.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
¿A poco? You really do? You like the chicken ones?
Yeah, I like the chicken ones. I like the ones de res, and then I like the chili lime ones and the shrimp ones.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Chili lime. Hey, I used to mix chili lime with the shrimp ones, right? And then fucking break down like a little grab bag. You know the grab bags of Doritos or Cheetos?
Yeah.
And crush it real, like powder it and mix it and throw maybe a little bit of chicharrones. Bomb, with a gang of sriracha sauce. You know the sriracha sauce?
Yeah.
You ever used it?
Yeah, the one with the chicken
like
and a rooster, no?
Yeah, it's got a rooster on it. Yeah, that
Yeah.
shit bomb, man. And it just leaves a nasty smell, and you gotta brush your teeth like 10 times after that to release that garlic bread.
Hey, call me back. Call me back. It's about to get cut off.
Okay.
All right, then. So we went ahead and reached the 15-minute mark again. And last time we were speaking, he mentioned to me that he heard word around the water cooler or the hot pot is that supposedly a GTO is going to be removing that 15-minute limit on the phone calls. So I hope it's just not a rumor. Hopefully this is something that's going to be actual and factual. And then that'll definitely be a game changer. So like that wouldn't have to be, cutting off and having them, to call back. We'll just be running it as long as we want.
This
call is now being recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
All right.
Yes, sir. Right here.
Hey,
No,
so
¿quién
right
habla?
now, so right now, when your call got disconnected, I was mentioning to whoever's listening right now that from what you heard around the hot pot or the water cooler, that they're gonna be doing away with the 15-minute call restriction.
Oh, yeah.
So I was telling them hopefully it is true. And then Lifestyle Chronicles put no more waiting for your phone time under the gun tower is a blessing for these guys 100%.
Hey, yeah, that's the way it used to be. It's crazy that he says that because they used to open the door, right, and you go into under the rotunda, and they got the gun tower right there, and they only have one phone for 150 people. Imagine that. Now you go out there and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's like 8 phones on each side for the little tablet, for the video. And then everybody's got a phone in their house, So time has changed. Like prison is so fucking plush, so cool now. Like a bunch of these youngsters have no idea how rough we had it, I always tell them that. I go, man, this is not prison, homeboy. You think you're in prison? Like, you guys got it so good, like compared to when I first started doing my thing. Shit. Yeah, these dudes think they're fucking running a hardcore prison. Fool, it's so soft. So soft. This dude got pepper spray today, and they picked him up in the ambulance. I told this kid, hey, that shit was hilarious. Yeah, they had an incident out there earlier, and these dudes are fighting, right? And one of them gets dropped, and he gets up, and they were going for a long time. They don't want to stop. A cop comes up to him, and he pulls out the pepper spray. 30 squirts him one time in the face, and this kid drops, and then he starts screaming, I can't breathe. And we're like, what the fuck? I go, oh, yeah, that kid's in for a surprise, man. If he thinks that's something, man, You know, there's times when they shower you with a whole fire extinguisher or pepper spray. I mean, they literally soak the whole entire body. I'm like, oh yeah, wait till he gets that. You know, if he couldn't handle one little squirt. But yeah, man, today was something, man. And it was cold and ugly too, dog. It was cold. Maybe that's why I was starting to feel a little sick, because I was out there working out, and then they dropped the yard. When they drop the yard and you're working out and you're sweating and it's cold and windy, and then it was windy too. That shit, you know, your sweat turns into like ice cold water. So now you're like fucking freezing, and it was windy.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And Lifestyles, what the homie? Hey, that's a cool little handle, huh? Lifestyles Chronicle.
Yeah, he has, I think, a pit bull on his little profile pic. I'm not sure if you noticed it when I send you the chats.
Yeah, and it's a bad little fucker. Hey, you know what it reminds me? I mean, I haven't zoomed in to look at it real good, but every time I see it, it reminds me of like that dog. Remember the dog with the little rascals with the eye patch?
Oh yeah.
Because it looks like he's got an eye patch.
Yeah.
It looks like one of his eyes. He's got a spot, huh? Yeah, but that's a cool little dog.
Like it.
Yeah, man, that's cool. But I trip out on the handle, the Lifestyle Chronicle. Like even the Iceman, you know, Iceman. Hey, Iceman is up there in age with us, you know, and he's got a cool little attitude about himself, man. Like he sounds like he's pretty hip, like with the times. Like even his little lingo, the way he's talking is pretty cool, man. Like a lot of the dudes that tap in, they either been in the system or have family probably that been through the system, or somebody, you know, because they picked up a lot of people have a little cool little style about them. You know, I don't think, have you ever had anybody get on there and talk bad about people?
Nah.
Or talk down on people?
No. Oh,
okay,
like
that's cool.
On the chat? No, no, nothing like that. Oh, you know what? So Lifestyle, he just put a message. He said it's an English bulldog on the picture.
Orale, that's badass. Yeah, I kind of thought it was. Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in on it next time. Yeah, that's nice, man. And little cute little fuckers, man. Now, you gotta have money to own no English bulldog, though, man. That's right, Lifestyle Chronicles. That's like a status symbol, huh? It's like having one of them Yorkies. You know? You ever see like people that have the little Yorkies, that $5,000 dog, and like, orale, big baller. Hell yeah. Yeah, but my sister always tells me, man, I wish I had a dog like that. I go, well, work your ass off then. You know, you want a dog like that. Right? Either that or just get like a one that looks like it and say it is. Yeah, paint a little eye patch on it and do a little surgery on it and kind of bring his little face, make it look like you know how their face is kind of like flat, huh? Those are the faces are flat, huh? The English bulldogs?
Yeah.
It's like the ones that came out on the Will Smith movies, you know, the fucking Independence Day. Remember the one that was talking? Are those it? Is that English bulldog?
Oh no, you're talking about Men in Black, no?
Yeah, Men in Black.
I don't know.
Remember the dog that would talk?
It's
I wonder. Hopefully he could answer that next time. But yeah, man, I'm a dog person. I love dogs, man. You don't have a dog?
Nah, it's too much of a responsibility. I can't.
Come on, homeboy. Serio, Jaime?
Nah, it's too much.
Jaime,
It's too much responsibility.
you're missing out, homeboy.
I don't like
a
dogs.
dog is like,
I'm
man.
not a dog person. I'm not a dog person. I mean, nothing against
wow.
them, but no, it's just too much of a responsibility. Like we can't do it.
Yeah, that's like my mom. My mom didn't like it. Hey, look, it truth out on this. Growing up, my mom didn't allow me to have a dog, right? You know, 20 years later, after I'm in prison, all of a sudden my little brothers could have dogs. So I always tell my mom, like, what the fuck, you know? You never allowed me to have a dog. So, yeah, my mom's got she had a little Chihuahua dog in the house. We couldn't even have it in the yard. You know, I get busted, now she got a dog in the house and a dog outside.
I have a theory. I think I know what happened. I think I know what happened. So what happened was, since
Yeah.
since you're busted, she was like, hey, este güey cayó preso porque no le dejé agarrar un perro. So she was like, I'm gonna have
Oh
to.
yeah, you're right. You're right, homie. That makes a lot of sense because you know what? My mom used to catch me with. I used to get when I was little. I used to get the stray dogs, right? And I used to bring them in the backyard. I used to sneak them in the backyard, and I used to los bañaba, güey. I used to wash them. I used to shower, like scrub all the fleas off of them, and I used to go in the fridge and I used to bring food and I used to feed them all. And my mom would come out and she'd be getting mad, like sometimes I will feed the dogs the food that my mom was gonna cook for the day, like the raw meat. I didn't know what they ate. I was like maybe like 10, like 8, 10 years old. And my mom would tell me, like one time she goes, one time I caught you drying a dog with my fucking towels. My mom didn't like that. Like, you like these fucking dogs too much. You bringing all the stray dogs and shit, and you fucking feeding them and washing them and all that shit. But I was like that. I grew up like that, man. I love dogs, dog. Like I used to talk to the dogs like they were a human. I was trying to talking to them. My mom used to tell me that, hey, you always fucking talk to these dogs like they understand you. Yeah,
Hey,
that's one thing I miss a lot, man.
so right now,
Yeah.
Lifestyles Chronicle put the dog, the Men in Black dog is a pug.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna look at the French bulldog, man. I think the French bulldogs are they're more shorter. I think they're like the bullies, something like the bull. Like they got the bulldogs. They call bullies. They crossbreed them with, I think is maybe a French bulldog with a regular bulldog or something like that. But my brother has those. Like, dogs are fucking bad nowadays, man. Like, I got a picture of one that my little nephew has, and that fool looks like he's smiling. Like, like he was posing for the picture, and he's sticking a little tongue out, and he's smiling and shit. Badass fucker. Yeah, I miss dogs, man. I can't wait. I know for sure as soon as I get out, maybe the same day I'm gonna give me a dog, dog. Gotta have one, man. Them dogs have a cool little mind, man. Like if they can understand you and they can feel you. They know when you're feeling sad. They're a trip. Imagine a world without dogs. How much drugs there was. How many people would be sick? How many kids? Because they detect a lot of diseases. They could detect when kids are gonna have like seizures and all kinds of shit. I'm trying to convince you to get a dog, homie. I don't know if you're catching on, but that's what I'm trying to do.
That negative,
Get a
negative.
dog,
It's not working. Good try
Yeah,
though.
that's
Good
right,
try.
boy. Yeah, it'll get you a little hamster. You get a hamster at least. You gotta get something. A lizard. Get a praying mantis or something.
You know what?
But yeah, man.
It's funny you say that because
Huh?
I found a baby lizard.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
You found what?
We found a little baby lizard or a gecko outside.
Oh wow.
And then we were trying to keep it alive for my
Ah.
daughter, and it died like in 2 days.
You know why they die though? You gotta force feed them. You gotta open their little mouth with like an ID card, and then you get the flies and you push them in, because they won't eat. Now, if they don't eat within like the second or third day, they die. For sure.
Yeah,
I know. I'm pretty good at keeping them alive.
I think that's what happened. Yeah, too bad I didn't know you back when we found it a few
Yeah.
months ago.
Yeah, now you know. Like, if it ever happens again, you gotta, with the ID card, you could kind of force their little mouth open, and you could just shove either flies or even like little tiny little bugs or little tiny pieces of like ham, but little tiny ones. You force them in there. They don't eat. They die. Same thing with the baby birds. It took me a long time. Remember I told you I had a little baby bird in Tehachapi? And then that little bird followed me everywhere in the yard. I used to take him outside, and he always came back. He thought I was mama, you know. But yeah, everybody in here, dog, we're dying for some kind of love and affection. So a lot of dudes got lizards, snakes, There's a dude in here that had a big ass Mexican tarantula. You ever seen the Mexican tarantulas? They're ugly, dog. I was scared of that thing. I was like, oh hell no, I ain't gonna touch that motherfucker. But yeah, everybody has some kind of a little pet. I haven't gotten one here since I got here. I haven't gotten one yet. But yeah, man, like we all like to have something, dog. Like it's a trip, man. We get attached to like little tiny little lizards or birds or snakes or this one dude that had a scorpion. I'm like, what the hell you want a scorpion? Like that thing's scary, you know? You get bit by that thing. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff right here, a bunch of creatures walking around the night. Yeah, man. What do you think? Should I continue the story or save it for next episode?
Nah, continue. You know what? As a matter of fact, right now we'll do one more call and just continue, and then
okay,
and then we'll call it a night after that one.
Okay, yeah. So so I'm in the shoe, man. I'm getting clowned. You know, it's my first shoe on my actual physical shoe, because I had already done a shoe, but I ended up doing it in a hole. I never got shipped out to a shoe setting, because the hole in the shoe is too. Okay, the hole is like a county jail, and the shoe is like a prison inside the prison.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
That's pretty much the best way to put it. So it's like the hole is a county jail and prison, and then the shoe is a prison inside a prison. So I'm in there, and like I said, I was getting counted through the whole term. Every time somebody broke the ice, I would bring that up, and I constantly had to explain myself. Nah, I mean, there was nothing wrong with the dude. He got up, he went back, he was just playing the system, he was working the system for the morphine pills, for a hustle. And yeah. But I ended up getting along pretty good with everybody, man. I was in the shoe. I didn't pick up any write-ups. I think that time I did 3 years in the shoe, and I had a good rapport with the cops and shit. I was doing little drawings for them. Everything was going smooth. I get out when my shoe term was out.
All right, so he should be calling us back shortly, and when he calls back right now, I'll go ahead and read him off your comment that you put about breeding the French bulldogs. That would be a lifestyle chronicle, and then he'll go ahead and continue with his down his journey within the California Department of Corrections. And then this will be our last call. What time is it right now? It's already all 2:23, so I need to get some sleep before I start my day. And we're definitely gonna be back on Sunday. We're gonna have I'm gonna try to squeeze in as many people as we can on Sunday.
Esta es Global Tel-Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
This call is now being recorded.
YANEZ.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Para rehusar. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel-Link.
Hello, Javier.
Yep.
All
yes,
right.
sir.
So Lifestyle Chronicle put a message right here, and he put, yes, sir. My homie breeds French bulldogs. Those little effers are 6,000 each. Good business,
Wow.
Javier. Slanging bullies, 100%.
Yeah, it is, man. My brother does that. Man. Okay, so now I know exactly what they look like. They're just like the regular bulldogs, but these are a little lower to the ground. They're just like a bulldog, just smaller. They don't get as big as a regular bulldog. Yeah, them things are super expensive, man. Hey, you ever seen when they ride the skateboards? Esos perros?
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, that shit blows my mind, bro. Like, how the fuck that motherfucker? And they look like they're loving it. What a trip, man. But yeah, man, good for you, man. That's an excellent dog to have, man. I wish I get, man. I always wanted like one of them real bad expensive dogs, and I always ended up with the mud, you know. But I'm cool. I think the best dog I ever had was a brindle, a pit bull. And her name was Portia. That was a badass motherfucker. But yeah, man, I miss that dog, man. Yeah, man, fucking what a life, you know? Like I think about my time in here. It's like everybody chase on, 'cause you don't hardly ever see me like all with the frown on my face or miserable and fucking. You know, a lot of the dudes are in here. You know, if you let the time get to you, dog, that's what it does. You know, you become one of them inmates that's walking around with a frown on the face, fucking not talking to nobody. There's a couple inmates in here that I worry about. 'Cause a lot of times these dudes that can't handle it, they commit suicide. And I always like I look at people and I could sense when they're starting to think about suicide, man, because they become very isolated. They don't go to the yard no more. They don't shave. They don't groom themselves. They stop talking to people. And man, there's a couple dudes in here that I worry for, man. And every so often I try to get a little bit of conversation from them and trying to snap them out of that shit, you know. There's a couple that I actually, you know, I feel that I made them change their mind because, you know, you can see it. I mean, it stands out when people are about to give up, you know, because they go from being real happy to just, boom, never shaving, you know, not grooming, not showering, not going nowhere, giving their shit away. And those are all the signs. But yeah, man, you got to be strong, bro. You got to be strong. I know that all the shoot turns that I did made me, this, I believe, kind of played a key role in my whole recovery and change of going from a violent to a non-violent person, because you know it kind of simmered me down in a way to where I was able to evaluate and self-analyze my lifestyle and where I was headed, and is it worth it? Or am I ever going to get out of prison? Should I give up? You know, because of course a lot of us, you know, suicide is like a constant thought. A lot of people think about it, they just don't say shit. I know I could never do it. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh man, you know, that fool, he was a coward. He got weak." Hell no, I think it takes balls on me to fucking righteously get up there and put a noose around your neck and boom, drop yourself. And, oh hell no, you know, I could never do that. Plus, I believe in God. I believe in that Bible. You know, and it says honor is a major sin. There's no forgiveness for suicide. You know, He does not. He can forgive you for a lot of things, but except suicide. So yeah, like, you know, I'm sure I've had like times when I felt alone and I felt betrayed. I felt let down, and you know, I felt like I wasn't even getting mail for a while. I was calling, I wasn't finding nobody. Nobody was picking up the phone. So there's times when I feel lonely, but I don't go to that kind of thinking. I'm like, I'm cool. I value my life regardless whether if I'm free or in prison. You know, I work with what I got and I keep pushing. I always find something to give me joy. From the minute I wake, you know, as soon as I wake, I thank God that He's giving me another day. You know, right away I start to think, okay, what am I going to do today? Well, you know, what's going to make me happy? You know, I keep pushing. Yeah, if not, it'll break you, dog. It'll break you. And man, by the grace of God, I'm still strong, and you know, I never got stabbed my whole time that I've been in here. You know, I never really got jumped. You know, I see people get jumped. You know, they get checked. I got in trouble a couple of times for drinking and going to the yard. And those were like little prison rules that were not, you know, when you're active, you're not allowed to drink and go to the yard drunk. because you gotta chequear on me, you know. They south side you. That's what they call it. They give you a little regulation. But yeah, that's probably the only thing I ever had happen to me one time I went out to the yard and I was drunk. Other than that, man, I pretty much follow every rule. I respect every person. You know, and I say excuse me if I walk by them. There's a lot of inmates right here that don't. You know, when I'm out there working out on the dip bars and the pull-up bars, a lot of times, man, I get people walking right in front of me in between the pull-up bar and between me and the pull-up bar when they could have walked behind me, around me, or the other way, and they're not even knowing. You know, so a lot of times, like when they're not around that area and I find them somewhere, I tell them, I go, hey, dog, you know, you just walk right in between me and the pull-up and you didn't even say excuse me. You're like, man, I didn't even notice it, my bad. I go, hey, bro, you got to pay attention to that. There's some dudes that take that shit to heart, and they might not even tell you nothing. Just boom, take it to you. So you know, I try to pass, you know, to give advice to a bunch of youngsters in here because they're oblivious to, you know, they don't take prison serious. You know, prison is real. You know, it ain't as real as it used to be. You know, it's actually much softer now, but it's still prison and it's real. You know, there's people that don't take no shit. They should, you know, it'll break you or make you, homie. Yeah, man, I'm in that Corcoran, they ended up sending me back to Kern Valley, man. Like, I couldn't go to no other prison. I had enemies in every other prison. The only prison I could go back to when my shoe term was done and over with was back to Kern Valley. I'm like, fuck.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
So I ended up doing 16 years in Kern Valley, homie. I couldn't go nowhere. Everybody says, man, like Kern Valley, once you're there, you're never going to leave. And the only reason I left Kern Valley is because I got that level 3 override. Because they weren't working with before it was depending on your points. Now, as long as you can give them 1 to 3 years clean with no write-ups, and you've been level 4 for a long time, they want to give you a chance to program so you can get grooves, certificates. So it's called the override. So they'll override you to a level 3, but you're here on a condition. So once you get here, they'll tell you, if you miss school one day, you're back, you're gone. If you get a write-up, you're gone. If you get caught with drugs, you're gone with anything. So you're walking on thin ice. I mean, you gotta do everything perfect. Can't miss a day of school. You can't fucking be getting high. You can't be getting drunk. You can't fight. Nothing. And man, thank God, so far so good, man. I got here, I think October. I want to say October last year. Or November, or somewhere around. I'm not good with dates, but man, I'm about to hit what? I'm about to hit the year. Well, I already did hit the year. I don't even know. It's crazy. Hey, when you're a lifer, you pay no attention to time, to dates, nothing. How many times when they come from, they bring me like legal mail or anything I gotta sign, in the date. I always ask the counselors, hey, what's the date? And they always laugh, like, fucking YANEZ, you never know the fucking date. I go, I know the year. I don't know what month are we in, what day, but you pay no attention. You know, time is no longer, you know, it's nothing in here. You know, for one, you don't have a release date. I still don't have a release date. I still don't know when I'm going to go home. So it's not good to pay attention to time. So when you pay attention to time, and your days are super long, and you know you feel the time, you feel the prison, you start to miss people, you start to miss your loved ones, you start to want things, and so yeah, that's like a righteous way to live, to go to do your time like without paying attention to none of that. You know, there's dudes that come and do 2 or 3 years, and they tell me, like, damn, that shit feels like, I felt like I did fucking 30 years, and it was just 2 years. And so I've seen so many people parole and come in and out. And like, at one time I seen a dude that I met in New Folsom, and throughout my 30 years, he came in and out 3 times. I ran into him at 3 different prisons. And all 3 times he was doing like just 3 years at a time. He was doing tryouts, 1 year, 2 years. So when they're out there on parole and you violate parole, they usually give you a year or 16-month tryout. They call it a tryout. And these dudes kept coming. I was like, what the fuck do you like about prison, homie? When are you gonna learn? What's causing you to come back? Is it drugs? And work on getting sober. Because if you could find out what's causing your recommitment and coming back to prison, and you can make that in your body, you'll never come back. So yeah, a lot of them will do drugs. A lot of dudes go out there and they can't find a job, or they break up with a girl, or they want shit that they can't afford, and they go try to steal it, or they go try to sell drugs. And you know, that's exactly how I ended up in here. I wanted shit that I couldn't afford, and I thought it was a good idea for me to start selling drugs, and obviously it wasn't. I ended up losing my whole youth in here, my whole life. So, my advice to people is, man, when you want something, just work for it and wait for it to come. Even if it takes years for you to get it, you know, you're gonna get it. It's gonna be legit, and you're gonna earn it. You're gonna feel good when you get it. You're not gonna have no strings attached. You're not gonna feel like you're gonna owe somebody, or you're gonna do time or whatever. Yeah, I think so. I'll save my next episode for the next llamada, you know?
Yeah, that'll work. And also, I want to let you know something. So, Lifestyle Chronicles, he just dropped $9.99 on your books right now. So he shot.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I still
Santa Claus.
Hey, so I still owe you the 10 from last week. So with this one, that'll be 20 that I gotta shoot your way. I haven't forgot about you. I just haven't done it, but I'm gonna go ahead and take care of you. And then Lifestyle Chronicles put Javier, only a real one understands your pain, and only a real one knows that we are only as good as the last day. I hear the uplift in your message in the last few weeks, and I'm sure God is proud of you.
Oh man, thank you so much, man. Because I am. You know what? A lot of people are ashamed, you know, to when they, you know, I don't know what's wrong with, you know, I've always never been ashamed to mention God. You know, a lot of people, you know.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
When they mention stuff like that, man, so I appreciate it. You know, I'm real open about that. I'm a firm, I believe in God big time. You know, I appreciate him saying that. Because I believe it's because of him and because the faith I have in him that I'm still pushing and keeps me, you know, in the path of righteousness. I really do feel that. So I appreciate that, man. For looking out. That shit. To both of you guys, the Lifestyle Chronicle.
That's right.
Man, that's feeding my dog. Thank you, man. You don't know how much a relief that is too, because I was like, I bought me the music earlier, right? So the music,
coming back is about to cut off.
Okay.
Coming back. Man, Javier, he's always buying music on his tablet and movies and stuff like that. So he's a trip, man. He's definitely up on technology and he knows how to use his tablet, and he be doing all kinds of stuff with the tablet, looking up people's cases, movies, music. So he's definitely utilizing that tablet that the state has provided him with. And hopefully, he should be calling back shortly. We'll run it for a few more minutes so we could just go ahead and make it in 2 hours. We're a few minutes short of 2 hours, and then we'll go ahead and call it a night.
This
call is now being recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez.
Un preso recluido en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
All right, Javier.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you for calling back. And once again, I want to go ahead and thank Las Chronicles for dropping that $9.99. And I'll make sure, I'm going to be sending that over to him with the other $10 from the other night. And he has $20 coming his way, so he could go ahead and buy some music, some movies, or maybe some chili lime sopas.
Chili lime. Hey, okay, so look here, let me cut in real quick. Trip how, right? It's a trip how things work. Okay, so look. Okay, remember I told you I had that the music a while back. I think maybe like 2 weeks ago. And
yeah.
So a lot of times the tablets, they go down, man. So we get burned sometimes. Like you'll pay for the movies and we'll go like 7 days and the tablets they're not letting us log into the movies, or they're just not working right. So yeah, 2 days ago my music thing was done. It had already expired. Not like I'm not gonna buy this shit, because the music costs more than the movies. It's a trip. You would think it would be the other way around. The music is $5.49 a month, and the movies are only $1.99. So everybody could afford the movies, But a lot of people want the music. It's like you could find all kinds of music on there, and you could just type down the name and everything. So this morning I heard on the news some rapper, right? And I was like, man, who is that? And it sounded cool, right? But it was Christian. It was Christian rap, and I had never heard of this dude. And he was saying some badass lyrics. So it was because of Christmas, there was like a Christmas kind of song. But he was rapping it. He sounded like Future or The Weeknd, like a cool ass rap. And I was tripping on it, man. I gotta hear that. So I was paying attention and I caught the name. It was Lecrae or something like that. It was a Christian hip hop rapper. So I said, oh hell yeah. So I said, man, I'm gonna buy the music. I wanna hear it. I wanna hear some more of his music. It's like inspirational music to motivate you, and inspirational kind of like. So I said, you know what? Lately I've been listening to a lot of that music. So yeah, I bought the music. I was like, man, I was down to $2.32. I was like, oh man, okay, cool. Hopefully, I know that my sister, she surprises me here and there. I don't like to ask her, and I'm like, man, she better hit me with some money for Christmas. I'm gonna be hurt if she does it, But yeah, man, I appreciate that right there. I ain't even tripping now. If my sister don't do it or not, I'm cool, I got my music. Gracias, man. Mean that.
There it is. You're gonna be listening to some Eazy-E, some Tupac, some Dr. Dre, and all that good stuff.
Hell yeah, man. I was listening to Busta Rhymes, and a lot of dudes don't. I kind of dig. I like his shit, man. Busta Rhymes got some cool. He sounds very aggressive when he raps, So earlier I was bumping some Busta Rhymes. You listen to everything too, huh?
Yeah, I listen to a wide variety of different music types.
Yeah. Hey, you'd be surprised, like when you got like on your phone, you could type down any artist, huh? Just pop out and what is it? Usually YouTube or something like that, and you can find any song, huh?
Yeah, anything. Yeah, pretty much your phone, like it's pretty much a computer now. You could do everything on it. Look up music, play videos, pull up any type of information you need. It's at your fingertips down.
Yeah. You like oldies?
Yeah. You know what? Oldies. I started listening to them when I went to camp. When I did my first camp program, because they used to play oldies a lot when I did my first camp program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. Here's a song I want you to look up whenever you get a chance and listen to it. It's one of the longest oldies you're ever gonna hear. and it's badass. And I guarantee you, you ain't never heard this oldie before. It's a hard to find, right? It's by Al Green. It's called For the Good Times. Have you ever heard that?
I don't think so.
Well, write it down, and whenever you get a chance, trip out on that song, for you're gonna love it.
You said Al Green.
The beat.
The Good Times.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Al Green, and the name of the song is called For the Good Times.
For the Good Times. Okay, Al Green, For the Good Times.
Yeah, you check it out. Yeah, man, those songs right there, man. That's what I was going through when I lost my girl and shit. You know, every time I hear that song, I can't believe like I was a youngster, all in love and shit. You know, going through it. So it just brings back. But it's got such a soothing little beat, and the way he sings that song is just. It's heart filling, you know, like you feel that heartbreak. It's a good song. You're gonna trip when you hear it. Yeah, man. I always look for songs for it that a lot of people probably don't know, and I try to share them. Like I try to get people to give it a chance and listen to it. You know, if ever you run into songs, man, that you find that you might think, you know, that the lyrics are very meaningful or whatever, and you might think that I never heard it before, regardless of what genre it is, like country or whatever, let me know, man. I'm into like trying to find like, you know, songs, or I always look for songs that I ain't never heard before, and I try to find like a little, you know, the message, you know, inspirational. A lot of them, you know, it seems like the older you get, you kind of lean more towards like inspirational kind of music, you know, gospel, country, words that got feelings, you know.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
You falling asleep already?
Nah.
I think you're falling
but
asleep.
I need to go. I gotta go take it down.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm glad we're on a little vacation from school. But, you know, I got like about 4 radios, 3 TVs, 4 fans, 3 hot pots I got to work on tomorrow. But it's on my time, you know. They ain't paying me yet. Yeah, that's how I do it now, because a lot of dudes owe me money, right? And I told these dudes, like, hey, dog, like now when I fix shit, I'm gonna hold on. If it's a TV, I'm gonna hold it until you pay me. Because a lot of these dudes got hella comfortable, you know, they were bringing me shit for me to fix, and I was fixing it and giving it to them, and then I would sit here and wait for the payment, and a lot of dudes be bullshit, man. Like, they'll give me, like, say I charge them like $15 or $20, and, you know, they hit me with like $1 here, $2 here. Like, hell no, that shit it's not even worth it, you know. Feels good to get the whole payment and you feel good about it, you know. But yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna have a day of I'm gonna be at the Radio Shack. Hey, my celda's like a straight Radio Shack, dog. I got so many damn electronics in here. The cops hit my house a couple of times and took a gang of shit when I first got here, and then they finally accepted it. They're like, oh man. The last time they hit my house, they gave me like big old lecture. They're like, hey man, I don't mind you doing this shit. I know you do it. You know, you help a lot of inmates, and I know you get your little hustle. And you know, I heard sometimes you do it for free, so that's why we're not messing with you. But try to limit how much shit you have in there. You know, if a lieutenant ever comes and they do a surprise search, you're gonna front us off. You got like a gang of TVs, and then you got a gang of open fans, and the fans got a big ass rod on it, like it could be considered a weapon. You know. So I always tell them, like, hey, I always turn those in. If I can't fix them, I always throw it in the hot trash. And they're like, all right, that's cool. We appreciate that. So, yeah, man, I try to keep it, you know, I keep it 100 with them, you know. I show them my little tools. They don't worry about me having a big old screwdriver or whatever. And I fix shit for them sometimes, too. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, tomorrow's going to be one of them days. I'm going to be an electrician.
Hey,
what time you got to go to work? At 4?
Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to go, not 4 a.m., I'm going at 4 p.m. But
oh, yeah, you're good. Oh, yeah. You're going to be asleep till like 12 tomorrow. I bet you. Come on, man, give it up. You know you are. Don't say you're going to wake up at 6 and like, nah, hell no, you guys gonna sleep in till like 12 or 1. I pulled your covers, homie.
Oh man,
Hey, homie.
I was fronting me off.
Hey, I do that shit a lot. Huh? Hey, am I the only one that does that? When you do the story,
It's just you, man.
they
Just
get a
you.
little personal like that. Spencer, homie. Hey, but hey, it's the Presidente's fault, you know. He told me, he goes, yeah, that's the homie. He said, when you're talking to him, you're talking to me. I go, all right. I remember you said that. Hey, you don't fuck up now, homie. I'll break the ice with the homie. He's like, no, I said you. I go, all right then. Yeah, that fool was walking around like a straight fucking, ¿cómo se llama? Pájaro loco today with his hair all over the place. He told me, hey, homie, I'm going to stop by for some hair gel. I go, yeah, I got you. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Nah, man, it was cool, man. It was cool. What are the odds of this happening? Like, I went to sleep early and woke up just to check my messages, and bam, I send you a message, and I was about to put it down, and I looked, and I was looking at the pictures, and I came back, and there was a response. I was like, oh, what the hell? What's he doing up? You asked me while I was trying to ask you already, you know? Yeah, that shit was cool. I think it was worth it, though, you know? We got another episode out the way, and that way you could rest tomorrow and maybe Christmas Day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You going to have Christmas at your house, or you going to go to, like, some family member?
We're going to go to my friend Jaina's mom's house. We normally go over there. So we'll be over there on Sunday. And but I'm gonna do some calls on Sunday, so maybe you could jump on too. I'm gonna try to start off a little bit early because we normally go over there in the evening, so we'll do some Sunday streams, to get it out of the way. And then I'm gonna be off on Christmas Day, so we'll probably drop some more on Christmas Day, just in case somebody wants to tap in on Christmas, then
Oh yeah.
go ahead and do that also.
Hey, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to eat some pupusas for me, homie. I know they're gonna hook it up.
Some
bomb,
pupusas, some Salvadorian
pupusas.
what is it? Tamales.
Fuck, so they got some bomb ass food, homie.
The
I'm
panes
telling
con
you.
pollo, the panes con
Yeah.
pollo. Yep.
Sí, güey. Yeah, it's something like gorditas, huh? Like the way we make the gorditas, le ponen pollo.
Yeah. Yep.
Bomb.
Yep.
Yes.
The rábanos, the lettuce, the tomato.
All the way. Their spices. The spices are on hit with our style, you know.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, homie, fucking good. Chingo de gracias, and thank you. De gracias a Lifestyles Chronicles, man, and go dog. Go with that fucking badass dog he got, man. Shit. Badass fucking French bulldog, huh?
Yeah.
You still gotta get a dog. Watch. I'm gonna convince you, homie.
Nah, chalucas.
I'm gonna convince you. Watch. Yeah, homie. Watch. I bet you, you're not gonna be able to say no once your kids get older and they start asking you all the time. We become soft when it comes to kids now. Like, I had a chance to live with my girl, and I had my boy, my son, and I had a stepdaughter. And man, I spoiled that baby, man. Anything she wanted, she had. Anything, So hopefully, man, they don't start asking dad for a little puppy. You know what I mean? And man, you're gonna have to pick up the responsibility, dog. You're gonna.
Nah, you know
what?
Like I said, it's too much of a responsibility, and then we travel too much to be able, because then you got other people, and they don't want to take care of it, and then they're not picking up your phone calls, and it's just too much that's bothering, when you have a pet. And
my sister goes through it. My sister's got to rent a hotel for the dog when they fucking go out, when they go on vacation. She's got to pay for that dog to stay at a...
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
That's crazy, huh? I didn't know they had hotels for dogs.
Yeah.
That's a trip, but yeah.
Hey, but
I hear you, man.
I don't want the call to cut you off just like that. So
for sure.
We're gonna go ahead and end the stream, and we want to thank all of you guys that tuned in today, especially Lifestyles Chronicles for blessing us with those $20, $9.99 for Javier, and $9.99 for me, and I'll be showing that to him sometime today. And with that, you guys go ahead and enjoy your weekend, and definitely
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Double whammy.
Double
That's
whammy.
about a double whammy.
Hitting us with double whammy. Yep.
Yeah. All right, homeboy. Yeah, for sure, homie. All you guys, I send my saludos to all you guys. You buenas noches, and we don't get to talk again. Feliz Navidad a todos.
All right, you said it. All right, so his call was already cut off. I did see that message right there, Lifestyles Chronicle, in regards to that song. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take screenshots of this chat, and I'll go ahead and send that on over to him. Or even better, what I might end up doing is I might clip it like a 30-second part of that song, and then he could just go ahead and hear it like that. Because who knows if it'll be available on his tablet. If it is, then he'll be able to go ahead and get the full version. If not, he'll get the 30-second clip that I'll go ahead and send on over to him. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream. And remember, what's my outro? It's gonna be life's like a candle. Once you blow it, it's lights out. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream. You guys go ahead and have a good night or a good morning or whatever it is right now.